What time is it?
Can't see.
I did it until it was impossible for me to do. And I did it as far as I could take it. And then when I could not do it, then I stopped because I just couldn't do it. If I always told people, if I couldn't do it, then it couldn't be done. So I went as far as I could, and yeah, here we are.
This man, Joe Ascione, is another of my favorite drummers, but in his 40s he developed MS, and he still continued to play for about 10 years after it started back in the 90s. But today he's so crippled from it that he is just at home and with his parents now, and just can't get out at all. But I still correspond with him, but he was one of the greatest. He worked as a roadie for the great drummer Buddy Rich as a very young man, and Buddy taught him all the tricks that he knew.
My name is Bob Nahori, and I work at the Institute of Jazz Studies at Rutgers University here in Newark, New Jersey. Recently, we discovered that we had a set of tapes from the West Texas Jazz Society. The greatest thing about working in the Institute of Jazz Studies is you get to hear music. But while I'm multitasking, doing other particular things in my room with the audio, I get to listen to it. And this has actually been wonderful. First of all, I recognize a number of the musicians. And Joe Ascione was outstanding. I heard him on many of the tapes, and I always paid attention to that. This was really a good drummer. I had not heard him before. And when I was listening to the tapes, I heard this drum solo, and I generally kept the volume low, but I would turn it up when I heard this because it was very interesting. Now, when I listen to a drum solo like that, I can hear all the beats. I think if you're not trained as a drummer, you don't hear all the notes being played because it's very fast, but I could hear all of them. And not only that, his combination of the different drums was absolutely intriguing to me.
And in this color picture right here is the last one I took of him. He was playing a gig for a party for us back about, oh gosh, I guess that's been 6-7 years ago. But he had come off without his cufflinks for his tuxedo. And so I gave him a set of cufflinks that I had, and you can see he's holding his brushes above the drum there and showing off the cufflinks. But he was such a nice man. I was so fond of him, and still am, and always will be.
I love the way he inserted the bass drum or some tom-tom tone, different tones, along with the snare drum. And then a little cymbal work would appear now and then. And I think, if I remember rightly, I heard him playing on the rim of the drum sometimes. volume would drop suddenly, and I had to turn up the volume to pick up the sound from the rim of the drum. And I would have loved to have seen him to see how he was doing all that stuff, but I could imagine it.
Well, when you're at a jazz party, everybody's right there. Before the show starts, people are right at the stage, and you're laughing and talking to Al White, or you're talking with Bob Haggart, and you're talking with Ann Sewell, another jazz fan, and you're talking with Margaret, and somebody comes up and hands you a picture from last year, and you sign it. So it's a real family type thing versus going to a concert where it's more formal. So it is a different setting. Well, you know what? It was a jazz party,